Hi, my name is Christina, and some people know me as KJ because I have a small gardening business in Toronto called KJ Gardening. I do landscape design and gardening work for customers such as businesses and residential customers. Today I'm going to show you how to use a medicinal herb called stinging nettle to make a traditional Phyllo pastry pie. So it's very similar to a spinach pie, like a spanakopita that you can eat at a Greek restaurant, except we're gonna put stinging nettle and a couple other herbs like parsley and dill in it, and it's gonna be really delicious and nutritious as well. Earlier, we went to my friend Zoran's backyard to pick stinging nettles. My friend Zoran, who owns this garden, he grew up in a communist country, so he's very good at growing vegetables. There's lettuce here. He has all these different tomatoes and Swiss chard, all kinds of tomatoes, like enough for the whole neighborhood, and enough raspberries for the whole neighborhood too. Look here, this is a big patch of stinging nettle. So you can make a pie out of it, just like Greek people make the spinach pie, spanakopita. Let me show you how to do it. You put it like this, just like a kangaroo. Yeah, actually, he was telling me he used to catch frogs like this and put the bag full of frogs back home in Croatia. These are better than gloves because they can sting you through the gloves. You want to get maybe the first 2 rows, and then you can snip it and put it in your bag. So I'm gonna do this until we have like a big, almost like a salad bowl full of them. You don't want to touch this. If you touch it, it's gonna sting you and it's gonna hurt for another day. And you can see, like, if you get a close-up, you'll see the needles. That's what you don't want to touch. They have acid inside, and if you touch it, it hurts. And you see this big patch here? When you cut it, actually the nettle's gonna grow even more from the side shoots. So you'll be able to harvest it all summer long. So look, I think this is a good amount. It's like maybe a big salad bowl's worth. I mean, it's gonna shrink a lot after we boil it, but once we mix it with the other herbs and cheese, it should be enough for 1 pie. So I have here lined up the ingredients that we need. You need 1 leek, 4 eggs, there's 100 grams of feta cheese, and I got Macedonian feta, which is creamier than the regular. You need some dill, coarsely chopped, and I like some flat leaf parsley, so there's flat leaf parsley. And also, before I started, I steamed some baby spinach and squeezed them dry, so there's a little here. And also, you have a choice. You can use either ricotta cheese or low-fat cottage cheese. Either one is good. I mixed them up together for another 100 grams in addition to feta. And then we're gonna use this brush to coat the phyllo pastry. I bought this phyllo pastry at a famous Greek pastry shop in Toronto called Athens. So we're gonna use sunflower oil and coat every piece with a bit of oil so make it crispy. A little black pepper and some lemon slices. Earlier, we went to my friend Zoran's backyard to pick stinging nettle. So I got a big bag, and stinging nettle is a little bit rough, like the stems are a bit rough. So I took out the stems and I only have the leaves here mostly. So you can do that too, just to make it a bit easier on your teeth. We're gonna boil the stinging nettle for 5 minutes to soften it before we squeeze it dry, and then we get it ready to put in the pastry. Let's add half a teaspoon of sugar and a pinch of salt to this boiling water. This helps to preserve the green color of the nettles. And now just boil the leaves for 5 minutes to soften them thoroughly. You can keep the liquid that the nettles have been boiled in and freeze it later for making soup. Make sure you drain the nettles and then let them cool for a while. After they're cooled, make sure you squeeze them hard to get rid of all the excess liquid. You don't want any wet filling because we're making a crispy pastry pie. Add some cooking oil, then saute the leeks until lightly browned. Now you can start heating the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit for the pie. We're gonna cook it for 45 minutes at this temperature. Oh, I forgot. Chop up the nettle and spinach into small pieces before you mix them with all the other greens. This is important just so, it makes it more smooth in the filling of the pie. And then once you chop them up, then you can mix the dill, parsley, spinach, and nettle all together. Then crack 3 eggs and then beat them. Then mix them into filling. Then you can add the cheese. So I put 100 grams of Macedonian feta and 150 grams of mixture of ricotta and cottage cheese. You can put some light oil, such as sunflower oil, in a plate and use the pastry brush to lightly coat 2 pieces of phyllo at a time. Because I bought the phyllo at the Greek store, it's gonna be the very thin one. Since it's a bit fragile, you probably want to put 2 pieces together and then oil the top, and then put another 2 pieces and oil them. I use sunflower oil because olive oil can be a bit heavy. In a regular spanakopita, like a Greek spinach pie, they put 7 slices of phyllo on the bottom and 7 on top of the filling. You can just put something like 5 to 7 pieces on the bottom and the top. There, so put it into the oven and set your timer to 45 minutes and wait. Look at this beautiful pie. 45 minutes later, it's like a golden baby that just came out of the oven. Alright, so let's slice her up and then look at how it cooked inside. God. Can you hear that? It's like a thunder crunch. Wow, okay. There's like flakes flying in the air. Okay. So, is that it? Here. It looks pretty good to me. See? So, I'm gonna have one slice and then one slice for Alex, the cameraman. If you like this content, please subscribe and hit the notification button to be advised of any new videos in the future.